Welcome, everybody, to the Red Rock City Lifestyle Podcast, a place where you will get resources to explore the best in class of our local businesses, restaurants, things to do, places to go, and our nonprofits that need awareness. I'm Camilla Dorand, your host, and today I am honored to have here with us, Dr. Tiffany Smith. Welcome, Dr. Tiffany.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much. So, Dr. Tiffany M. Smith is a trailblazing, doctorally prepared functional psychiatric nurse practitioner and the founder of Aroma Functional Nutrition Psychiatry. She found her calling by helping her combat veteran husband recover from chronic pain. She provides practical, real-time application tips for her audience and has an infectious energy, as you will all experience during our interview. Dr. Tiffany is a military spouse. She's a Blue Star mom, an international speaker, and an international best-selling author. Wow. What an honor to have you here, Dr. Tiffany. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us and to provide our listeners with such an enriched content today. How did you get here is the first question that I have for you. Tell us a little bit about your journey.
Okay. All right. So the end point is that I'm doctorally prepared and I am an integrative and functional psychiatric nurse practitioner. And this journey began, number one, I wasn't going into healthcare at all. And my family we haven't had any health issues. All of my elders live beyond 100 years old. And when my grandfather had a stroke, that was my first time experiencing the healthcare system. And
how old were you?
I was 17 and I was getting ready to graduate college and become an electrical engineer.
No way. Your
Yeah,
first choice was electrical
I was
engineering?
going to be an electrical engineer.
Wow.
And so when we experienced that health crisis, I saw the impact that all of the healthcare workers had on our family and the support. And I felt that that was going to be so much more personally fulfilling to be a nurse at that time. So I switched my degree and went into nursing.
Wow.
And yes. And so I've done a variety of things in nursing. And so to be a nurse practitioner, you're first a nurse. And that's significant because a nurse is right there when you're at your worst, giving care, supporting you, and helping you through the worst and toughest parts of your times of your life.
For sure.
So then later, way later, I further advanced my degree, went into education. So I taught at Roseman University.
Are you a local Las Vegas person?
Yeah, I've been in Vegas for 21 years. This recording in 2024.
Okay.
And so I was a professor at Roseman University in Houston. And then from there, got my nurse practitioner degree and then got my doctorate degree. And my journey and what really flipped the script from being a traditional psychiatric nurse practitioner. And let me explain what that is. A psychiatric nurse practitioner is it's synonymous with a psychiatrist that is a medical doctor.
Right.
Now nurses can advance their education and take on the role of assessing, diagnosing, and treating health conditions. And so my specialty is psychiatry. And so I moved into that realm, but instead of being a traditional psychiatric nurse practitioner, my experience with my husband flipped the script for me.
Okay.
Because with him, he was experiencing chronic pain, and this was going on way early in late 90s on forward. And we were leaning into our healthcare system because that's what we thought you're supposed to do. That's what the healthcare system is for. But what we were finding is that we're only getting treatment for the symptoms. Then the treatment wasn't necessarily enhancing the quality of life or lasted any duration.
Right.
Now, my husband, go ahead.
So a traditional nurse practitioner or psychiatrist focuses, just like in traditional medicine, on the symptoms. So that's what you had been doing until that moment.
Correct.
Okay. And how did it feel to focus on the symptoms at the time, if you can remember?
Yes, that's a very good question, because I knew that there's more to psychiatry than just
Mm-hmm.
throwing pills at it.
Mm-hmm.
People were coming in with conditions that were intricate and very above and beyond. I remember a lady had just lost her son to gun violence.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do with that? I can't change the situation.
Right.
How, and I was a new graduate. How do I approach this?
Mm-hmm.
I, I felt that it was just an insult to just throw pills, you know.
Incomplete. It sounds like it was incomplete,
Yeah,
right?
incomplete.
Yeah.
How do I support the whole person? And I had a lot
Mm.
of other conditions where medication just wasn't the answer.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't going to help in the way that
Mm-hmm.
they needed support and help.
Right.
So in the back of my mind, I'm always knowing there's more. And the reason I got into psychiatry is because I wanted to really know what was going on in that brain. What is
Uh-huh.
happening to create these behaviors that I'm seeing? And so with my husband's journey
Mm-hmm.
and him entering into the healthcare system and not getting resolution, he got to a point where he said, forget this. I don't want any more Western healthcare. We got to figure
Mm.
this out on our own.
Right.
So this really forced me to find the answers that I was questioning in addition to helping him.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, we found complementary alternative modalities. We learned about functional medicine, integrative medicine, lifestyle medicine, and really how to get to the root cause of the challenges that we face in medical conditions.
Wow, what a difference to go from just focusing on the symptoms to
Mm-hmm.
then looking at the person holistically and
Right.
seeing, okay, what is missing or what needs to be improved, what needs to be reduced? How can we integrate every part of the whole to
Right.
help this person? That is, wow, what a gift, Dr. Tiffany, what a gift.
Yes. And the thing I loved about functional medicine, it was about finding the dysfunction within the body.
Oh.
So we can always Google stuff
Oh
and,
yeah.
right?
Dr. Google for
Doc,
sure. Yeah.
right. You go to Dr. Google. Dr. Google says take melatonin if you're not sleeping, but
Yeah.
there's a whole streamline of functions that occur before melatonin is even produced. So you got to know where the dysfunction is to really adequately be treated and get resolution for
Mm-hmm.
your symptoms and heal your body.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that.
Yeah.
So from my husband's experience to looking at my practice and saying they need more, we created Aroma Functional Nutrition Psychiatry. And the title comes from the modalities that I use to work and help with my husband. I learned about aromatherapy. I got a degree in it so that I can better help him.
Wow.
Yeah, because he was like, no pills, nothing invasive.
Yeah.
And he didn't believe it would work, that I could rub something on him and he would get a benefit that was better than an invasive procedure or a pill without the side effects.
Oh my stars. That is fascinating. I love this alternative medicine subject. Can
Mm-hmm.
you give us a specific example or a few examples of the scents, the aromas that work for certain uh, disorders or symptoms? I hate that word, but it exists, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what aromas work for what symptoms or diagnosis? Can you just give us an example? And
Sure.
people listening, she is not evaluating your condition. She is not here to give you any consultation. She is just illustrating with some examples on how aromatherapy can be powerful. Please, please,
Yeah.
Dr. Tiffany.
So when you talk about aromas and what you smell, that is very personal, individual.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's important when working with someone to know what's their vibe, what jives with them. So really, I focus on the therapeutic aspect of the oils. So you have oils that are anti-inflammatory,
Okay.
anti-anxiety, hypotensive if you have hypotension. So some examples is like ylang ylang.
Mm-hmm.
That's YLANG
Mm-hmm.
is actually something you can use to help with hypertension because of its
Oh,
relaxation effects. can cause a calming. I actually did a case study on that when I was in aromatherapy school. Black pepper has a multiple functions around pain and wound care. And actually in Minnesota, they have aromatherapy as a part of their treatment plans in maybe one of the hospitals there or so.
Uh-huh.
I went to Minnesota for a conference and they shared how they're utilizing it in healthcare there.
Wow, that's fascinating.
It
How advanced that is, huh?
Yes, and there are combinations of essential oils that can be more effective than medication. So some of the blends that I've made with my husband for his pain, there's studies that show that it could be more effective than a Percocet, or a
Oh,
Vicodin.
wow.
And
Without the
then,
side effects of the Percocet.
right, respiratory
Wow.
issues. When you talk about aroma and smelling, respiratory issues. So like eucalyptus is a big one.
Mm-hmm.
As far as something you can smell, certain pine oils can open up the respiratory system, help with asthma attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Lavender, we all know lavender's in
For,
everything
for
retail.
calming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
What are
yeah.
what are some good ones then to relax, to be able to sleep aside from lavender, because lavender is very common. That's our
Mhm.
go-to. What are the other ones that we can search for to help
I
us
would say
relax and have a better sleep?
the top three that come to mind is vetiver, Vetiver,
Okay.
ylang ylang, and lavender. I'm not really a lavender person. It
Okay.
doesn't it doesn't strike me, but that's a place to start. And then you can go. One thing with essential oils, you want to make sure that they're 100% pure and organic because
Okay.
there can be fillers in them. And then
Oh.
when you find that, you can go to the store like Whole Foods or something, find a good oil, and then just smell them and see how does it make you feel.
Oh, interesting.
I Yes, and I have partners that I work with that use aromatherapy in counseling to help break down walls,
Mm.
barriers. Have you ever smelt something or drank something and it felt like it just relaxed you to another level?
Yes, totally.
That's what some aromatherapy oils and aromas can do for you.
That's so fascinating. And
Mhm,
also what I heard you say is that each patient that you have will
mhm.
receive a personalized blend because
No, I
every
didn't say
person
that.
is different. Oh, you
I
didn't?
didn't.
So I heard wrong.
No, but I was just explaining that everyone does. Now,
Okay.
in my practice, I am not really doing a lot of aromatherapy in my practice. This is something
Okay.
I would have my partners do, is
Okay.
taking the aromatherapy approach because I have, like I said, one that uses aromatherapy while you're in counseling, breaking down
hmm
barriers. I have another one that can help you to bring yourself back to you. She has a way of helping you attach the aromas and bring you back to yourself and into that, back into you, into the zone of you when you feel dysregulated,
Scattered.
misaligned and scattered.
Okay.
Yeah. So I rely on my partners to do that because my love and
Okay.
joy is that brain and how it works. And I
Okay.
want to put into place all of the things that the individual needs.
Okay.
So,
So the aromatherapy, so you created tailored oils for your husband when you were helping him. So that
right,
doesn't necessarily mean that you're doing it today. You refer out when people are
right.
more interested in the aromatherapy. Thank you for clarifying.
Yes.
I know I don't listen like correctly all the time, and that's why I like to clarify. Thank you.
Not a problem. Yes. I haven't found a way to not to add aromatherapy in a way that I don't know how to find it where it can seamlessly fit in.
Okay.
Yeah. Now I was looking into creating my own line of aromatherapy oils, essential oils.
Uh-huh.
But then you know what my challenge is distribution. Distribution is my biggest issue, and that's
Yeah.
the manufacturing. So if someone wants to help with that, please feel free to reach out.
We'll give out your contact information at the end, and it will also be in the description here of the podcast.
But I do have ways to make that happen and be the good, really good oils. So
Okay.
other than that, we did aromatherapy, but then functional medicine, the functional lifestyle, lifestyle medicine and functional medicine are actually the keys that unlocked everything for us. Because
Okay.
once I used aromatherapy and my husband started to get up and start to move and re-engage in his life, now
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, how are we living? Our lifestyles can dictate our health and wellness more than 60 or 70%. There's so many conditions that can be reversed
For
by
sure.
making changes within our lifestyle. And we have to respect the fact that the healthcare system isn't designed to add the lifestyle component. They'll let you know you need to make lifestyle changes, but they're not designed to help walk you through those lifestyle
Mm.
changes.
Yes, I remember the first time I was told that I needed to lose weight. I was 14 years old, and the
Mm-hmm.
doctor simply handed me, he was a traditional doctor. He handed me a sheet. He said, "Oh, you have to follow these foods, these portions, this time frame in your day, and here's some medication. Off you go.
Yeah,
Bye-bye."
right. And one thing I want to point out with that, and that I have added into what I do, is the
Hmm.
individualization and personalization that needs to come with our health and well-being.
Interesting.
So I help individuals understand their genetics, their DNA. How is
Oh,
your body built?
uh-huh.
Maybe you don't process fats properly or carbs. So low carbs is a big thing. Well, for me, I can process high carbs. My body burns carbs,
Hmm.
but I have to moderate my fat. So we're all built differently. The way our bodies are shaped, maybe we're not meant to be curvy, but we can be lean and we can be ripped, for example.
Oh,
And
okay.
so, in understanding how our body works, it helps us to have the best health goals and trajectory for ourselves.
I love that. So you can help people not because, recently we've had like the paleo diet, the keto diet,
Right.
and so many others that I forgot
Mm-hmm.
about. So people are like, "Oh my God, let me try the keto diet. Oh my God, let me try the
Right.
paleo." And so what you're saying is that not everybody was meant to follow the keto diet because they need more carbs. And is that correct?
There is no one size fits all
Got it.
when it comes to your wellness. And that's why when we start these different programs, they work out great, but it's
Mhm.
not so much of it working out great. It's the things that you eliminate in these programs.
Mm.
You stop eating the junk food. You
Right.
stop eating all of those things, all of the things that are potential allergens. Don't mean you have an allergy, but potential allergens like dairy and shellfish and certain meats and all of those things.
Hmm.
Then you do lose weight and you get results, but after that, you still have lingering symptoms, right? It's
Right.
only doing half the job. And that's
Okay.
because it's not personalized to you. Because
Hmm.
maybe you can't take in vitamin D or vitamin C or beta carotene. Your body has to, maybe it's missing, it has a dysfunction that you need a certain supplement to help connect or what have you. But by understanding how your body works, that's how you get to the true results. Your
Hmm.
body can heal properly and get what it needs. And versus just, it's not just do this or just do that. It's like, how the question we should ask is, how does this work for me? And
I
so
love that.
instead of us trying to fit into a diet program, we need to
Hmm.
find what needs to fit us, not
Right.
us fit it.
What really works for us and not, I don't like the word fit because it
Uh-huh.
reminds me of like a mold, a box. And if we're all
Mm-hmm.
unique,
Or that flexibility is
yes, the
what we need.
fluidity, the
Yeah.
flexibility is so necessary to create what works for us.
Correct, correct. We are unique, beautifully complex individuals,
Yes, we are.
and we do not,
Amen to that.
and there's no box we fit in
Hmm.
unless you consider your body being the box and everything must fit into your uniqueness.
I love that.
So with that being said, so I'm in my specialty is mental health. I
Uh-huh.
want to help treat individuals on a functional basis. So if you come with mental health issues, that doesn't mean you have to be on medication. There can be certain things or functions going on within you. You could be on medications just because in our traditional mental health practices, you come in, you say you're sick, you're sad, you get the anti-sad pill. You come in,
Right.
you have insomnia, you get the
Yeah.
anti-insomnia pill. So a lot of times though, what I'm finding in my practice is people don't need the medication. It's more life navigation that
Hmm.
people are having challenges with. And if
Yeah.
we took time and just had a human conversation
Hmm.
and didn't rush to the pills, a lot of times I can have a conversation, they change a perspective and they're okay. They don't need to say, "Oh, I have major depressive disorder." No, you were struggling with something that you couldn't get past and just needed a shift. You didn't need Zoloft.
I love that. I love that. And a pill a lot of the times functions as a band-aid, right?
Correct.
And what we're going through, be it a disorder or not,
Mm-hmm.
is a deeper wound that needs to be addressed. That band-aid is not going to help your skin, seal together.
Right.
It's just going to be there, right? It's just
Correct.
going to be there.
It's
And
still
so
going to
your
have,
job is to really go to the core issue that is
right.
making them feel whatever it is they're feeling, either the sadness, the
Right.
lack of sleep, the anxiety, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
Interesting.
Exactly. And mental health is everything, and everything is mental health.
Yeah.
And so and so my approach is that, your mental health and well-being isn't just, I'm struggling at work or in my relationships. It's everything around you. When you
Hmm.
walk in the door to your home, is it comforting and supportive of your mental health? When
Hmm.
you put on your clothes, does it support your mental health
Oh, I love that.
because you feel good in your skin and how you look in your body?
Hmm.
When you look at the people that are around you, does it bring stress? Or are these people that love you, care about you, and support you and help build you up as an individual? So a lot of times I'm telling people, get rid of those things that no longer serve you.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
while that may not always be easy or can't just happen just like that,
Overnight.
right, the awareness and just knowing how to maneuver and the recognition can help you be stronger in dealing with it. I do want to stress that. So I have my mental health psychiatry practice.
Uh-huh.
So I treat mental health conditions.
Right.
And when we take this approach, it doesn't mean medications are used as necessary.
Right.
They are there for us for a reason, but in our current healthcare, we're overutilizing it and using it
Right.
for everything. So I do get to the root cause, and that doesn't mean, oh, medications are bad, get medications out, this, we refuse
Sometimes they
medication.
are, yeah, sometimes they are
Right.
necessary, right? It's like the lifesaver, that
Mm-hmm.
when you're like in the water and you can't swim, you throw a lifesaver. Sometimes it's a pill
Exactly.
is the lifesaver. That just
Right.
doesn't mean that you're going to have to take it, for an extended
Exactly.
period of time. Hmm.
Exactly. And
Got
then the
it.
same with our healthcare system. We talk a lot, you hear a lot about our sick care system, but that's exactly right. You need
I
to,
love it.
that's when you go use your healthcare when you're sick.
Uh-huh.
Medicare has stated that if you are trying to prevent illness, if you're trying to have a better quality of life, promote wellness, that is considered not medically necessary and not payable by your insurance. Our
Wow.
wellness and well-being is up to us.
Right.
And I love to bring this up. I love to talk about when wellness used to be built in.
Wow, you just read my mind. I was going to ask you about the wellness journey here,
Yeah,
in our country, in our culture. So yes, please
yeah.
tell us a little bit about that.
I'm a 70s baby. I loved my time growing up. Nobody worked on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
you know and that was a family day. We all came together. We would go to church, be together, outside playing. Parents might be playing sports or cooking. It was community.
Mm-hmm.
Back then we had diaries, and the girls were writing the diaries, and it had this little lock on it so nobody could read your thoughts.
Yeah.
And you try to keep it from your little brother, or make sure your parents didn't read it. We were journaling. And then you came home, you took off your school clothes, you put on your play clothes, and you went outside
Yeah.
and you found things to do. You were in nature, you
Mm-hmm.
explored. Then you had to be home before the street light came on.
Yeah.
And there's your evening routine. You would go home, have your meal, take your bath, and prepare for the next day. So we had all of this built into our lives, our wellness,
Yeah.
community. We had a nature, we had the journaling, art, all of that, creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so now today, you fast forward to today, everything is 24/7,
Oh, my stars. No kidding. Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
We have access to everything. Remember Saturday morning cartoons?
Yeah.
That's when you watch your cartoons. It's 24/7. You can watch cartoons anytime. And it just takes away some of the preciousness in things. You value Saturday morning.
And it also takes away the natural flow of things,
Yeah.
right? Because there is a flow to our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Just like there is a flow in our aging,
Right.
as we start getting older today, it
Mhm.
seems that there is no flow. And not only that, Dr. Tiffany, what I was talking to someone the other day was, oh my God, people are so proud of how busy they are.
Mm.
Oh my God, I'm so busy. I need my phone. I need my Apple Watch. I need to be connected 24/7 because, oh my God, I'm so busy. That
Mhm.
is a status nowadays,
That is troubling.
isn't it?
It's troubling because of what you're busy with, you know.
Right.
So staying connected and having all of these apps and all of that, is that helping your wellness and well-being? So for me, my psychiatry hat is, what's the root cause of that?
Mm-hmm.
Needing to feel status, feeling belonging, feeling important. But then on the wellness side, how is that building you up, giving you self-care, self-love? Where are the boundaries? Our
Mm-hmm.
boundaries were built in back in the day. You didn't
Right.
work on this day. There was no choice. So you have to build in your boundaries with all of that, or it becomes an overload. And now you're super stressed. Now you have to totally detox from everything.
Yeah.
So we have to be appropriate and really ask ourselves why and what things mean to us and how does
Mm-hmm.
it serve us and why is that
Yeah.
important to have that or be that way.
I love that. Again, it's not a one size fits all. It's what works for you and your mental health and the kind of life that you want to create for yourself and what kind of
Mm-hmm.
person do you want to be,
Right.
right? Wow,
Exactly.
that is awesome. Very
Mm-hmm.
cool. I love it.
So I love to focus on the mind, body, and spirit.
Mm-hmm.
I love to help people, empower them to know how to look at their life, and you can make tweaks right now. Mental health, mental, physical, mind, body, spirit, it doesn't have to cost money. Right
Mm-hmm.
now you can go outside, and we have lots of sun, and get some vitamin D, which helps build your serotonin. You can start taking control of your mental and physical and spiritual health and wellness
Mm-hmm.
right now today. You mentioned the Apple Watch. Well, what have you learned about yourself looking at your Apple Watch and the data it provides? I
Mm-hmm.
love The number one thing I think we have to do is track ourselves
Mm-hmm.
and get to know ourselves from a objective data, meaning that we understand our heart rate, what's our O2 rate,
Mm-hmm.
how well are we sleeping. We have to see objectively how are we doing, because it's going to make you a better advocate for yourself
Mm-hmm.
when you go to see your provider when you have an issue.
Mm-hmm.
You can say, normally, my O2 sats are 99%. I sleep 8 hours a day. I often get scores that I sleep excellent, things like that.
Mm-hmm. What if people don't want to wear an Apple Watch?
I know, right? But there's more and more technology coming out. Like on my Google Hub, it said that it could help me with my sleep. Like it could help me understand how I sleep. I haven't tried it yet, but that's something I don't have to wear.
Yeah, well, I'm very old school, Dr. Tiffany. I'm also a 70s kid.
Mm-hmm.
And my phone is on silence most of the day. Not
Mm-hmm.
that it's far from me, but it's on
Mm-hmm.
silence because that ding ding just
Yep.
bugs me so much.
Yes.
I don't have an Apple Watch. I,
Mm-hmm.
I I prefer doing everything back in like it was in the old days. So I see the time that I'm, turning my lights off, going to sleep. If
Mm-hmm.
I wake up in the middle of the night, okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, can I go back to sleep right away? If not, okay, how many hours is that? Then what time I wake up? So I'm the type of person that I do not want to rely on technology.
And I'm
What
so
would you
cool with that.
say? What would you say to the listeners that are like me, that are
Oh,
few and like me?
yes, I love that 100%. I love it. I have paper documents you could use to track yourself, but all you're gonna do is just write it down,
Yeah,
and
okay.
that's a wealth of information all by itself,
Okay.
because you're still intuitively looking into you. You're
Mm-hmm.
still paying attention to your habits and how, knowing that at 2 o'clock you have this dip in energy. knowing that I go to bed at this time, I woke up refreshed today, or I woke up in the middle of the night. That is valuable information. Whether you have a device or you do
Mhm.
it yourself, it's still data you can provide. It's beautiful. So no, you don't have to have. I just
Okay.
bring it up because
Woof.
I just bring it up because it's in our culture so much
Uh-huh.
that most everybody has something. But
Yeah,
for those that don't, you just get that pad and paper out and you document how you're feeling and keep track of yourself in that way.
I love that. I love that. And so we're gonna start wrapping it up. So to tell the listener, could you come up with three small steps
Mhm.
that they can take right now to
Yeah.
start living a healthier and a life that's more geared towards wellness?
So I've been slipping them throughout this whole conversation.
Oh, I love that. I know you have, but I want to summarize
Yeah. So
summarize it.
number one, you want to start tracking yourself and understanding, paying attention to you with
Hmm.
all the distractions, all the dings. And I want to also congratulate you on shutting that phone down, putting those boundaries around that. I do the same thing.
Thank you.
I have do not disturb, do not call. I utilize all of that. And
Mhm.
you're kind of forced to with the scams too, just side note. Anyhow. But it's tracking yourself, really paying attention to how you feel. It's like, you don't want to get on the scale because you kind of think it's going to be really bad. And then you get on the
Right,
scale, it's not as bad as you thought.
right.
You want to track yourself and learn how you flow, even if it's scary, even if it's like getting on the scale, that can
Yeah.
be intimidating. You want to start to know how you do. Because maybe when you eat those potato skins, you gain 3 pounds the next day. But when you had cauliflower rice, and some fish, you lost notice that or if you're a female and you're cyclic, you're paying attention and seeing how your cycle runs with you and how you're
Hmm.
feeling based on your exercise. So
Hmm.
tracking yourself, getting to know yourself in a different way. There's so many distractions. We don't, we have to put ourselves on a schedule now. And
Right.
that's the first thing. The second thing is looking at your whole life. How much is it filled with things that support you, love you, and help you move through life in a beautiful way?
Hmm.
And then anything that does not do that, you have to get rid of it or you put
Hmm.
it on probation. And you
I love it, putting it on probation.
and you have to determine its worth to be in your life. You
Hmm.
are a precious being and you deserve the best. So you want to surround yourself with those things that help you be the best. And that includes another thing is your thoughts. They're creative. They produce the life that you live in now. So track your thoughts as well in the tracking part.
Hmm.
Make sure that you track your life. So number one, two, three, um, listen to yourself.
Hmm.
I
Oh,
believe
and that is so hard sometimes for people to do, huh? With
it.
all the outside chatter, with all the phone. But see, that's where technology comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't technology disable us or keep us from really listening to ourselves?
Right. And that's why the do not disturb is so important.
Mm,
Silence in the phone is so important. Just taking so even if it's a chaotic life, you got to go to the restroom, and that's the time when you're by yourself. Take
yeah,
extra minutes.
right.
If the world is just crazy right now, take a few extra minutes when you can get to yourself and just breathe into that and breathe into that moment and have some gratitude around that moment to help
Hmm.
help you get moving forward. But in listening to ourselves, we often get the direction and guidance that we need toward
Hmm.
wellness. How many times did your body say, girl, you need to drink a little bit more water?
Yeah. Or
When
you
you
need to slow down. You get sick, right? You get the flu or the
right.
cold. It's your body telling you, hey, slow down.
And even before that, the body's like, oh, this is so much to do.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get the cues, but we just don't listen to it or,
We're on
it's
autopilot. We're on autopilot. Yeah.
so listening to yourself is really huge and just make it a part of what you do. Just make it like a 5-day challenge. I'm just going to pay really close attention to those thoughts that come up that are
Ooh,
things about me. And that's what I'm going to track for 5 days and see is my body saying.
I love it. 5 days, baby steps. Oh my God.
Baby,
What a great tip. 5 days. Start with 5 days. It's like when meditating, start with 5 minutes. Don't go a full-blown 20, 30
Exactly.
minutes. You're not going to do it. So yes, you can't really go from 0 to 180, especially when
Right.
it comes to your health or anything in life, right? In
Right.
one day. It didn't take you 30 days to gain 100 pounds. So it's not going
Right.
to take you 30 days to lose the 100 pounds.
Right.
Pace yourself is what I'm hearing.
And have grace.
And have grace. I
Have
love it.
grace for yourself. Like you,
Compassion.
for the reason that you just said, it didn't all just happen. So it's not going to just go away. So we start with awareness, and then we start to create the plan based on the awareness we have. And then we implement something very gently, because you don't want to self-sabotage. And like you said, lose 100 pounds in 30 days. You don't want to do that. But if you just take small incremental steps, that's going to help you feel empowered and encourage you to keep going.
Oh my God, I am in love with you, Dr. Tiffany. Thank you so much. It's been such an enriching interview. How can people find you?
Okay, so I'm wanting to build up my followers on
Okay.
Instagram. So you can find me at dr.tiffany.m.smith, all common
Okay.
spelling. And most everything that I'm on is Dr. Tiffany M. Smith.
Okay.
Then my website is A as in Apple, F as in Frank, N as in Nancy, psych.com.
Okay.
And I'm always guest podcasting. So I'm on a lot of podcasts. I'm always speaking. So you can Google me and find a lot of things about me. But Instagram is where I think you're going to find a lot of nuggets, a lot of information, what I'm up to lately on Instagram.
I love that. And I'll also make sure to put in the description your information so our listeners can tap into you and contact you so they can live a richer, healthier, more wellness life.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And you will be back.